Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. So in this video, I'd like to give you an updated Elliott wave analysis about Solana. Spend a bit of time to look at the chart again in a little bit more detail and to give you a little bit of a better overview of where I believe we are in terms of the prices and the potential Elliott wave count. A few things have changed, nothing dramatically, nothing changes our scenario, but I relabeled it a little bit, which allows me to more specifically look at the current price action. Because some things that I still had on the chart here were sort of some older stuff that carried us through the entire correction here, which was fine. But in the end, I think I could have labeled it a little bit differently in a better way. And that allows me just now to label it here also the last bit much more accurately. So yeah, I spent a bit of time in the chart today and therefore didn't have too much time for making videos. Would like to give you the updated Elliott wave count. Again, it doesn't really change the scenario, but it gives us a little bit of a better view of what is currently happening and what the current Elliott wave count could look like. Because with what I had on the chart, it worked on the bigger picture, but not really here on the smaller scale. So overall, we still have a wave 2 here. That hasn't changed at all. So here wave 1, fine. I'm happy with that. First impulse to the all-time high, then a wave 2 in which we currently are. We came down in the projected target area. That's fine, and that also doesn't change. But this is still very much what I'm looking at here currently. So what can we expect now? So here, obviously, we had this whole overall correction in a wave 2. The wave 2 became here a so-called WXY pattern. So it's an ABC, WXY. It's basically a connected correction, just an overall extended correction, yeah, where you're just one ABC isn't enough, just broadly speaking, basically. So let's take a look at where we are, because what is really interesting and what interests most people is probably what is happening down here now in terms of the Elliott wave count. And we had here a wave A. This can be counted as a wave B here with a high that was here around $111 yeah, I think 110.60 or something, that peak here. And we are now in this C wave of the W wave, which will complete that wave 2, the overall wave 2. And with the completion of that wave 2, the higher level wave degree wave 2, it should pretty much be finished. You know, the overall correction should be finished. So let's label the chart. Just want to give you an overview here where I believe we are here in terms of what is coming down here, because this has transformed into an impulse to the downside, a wave C, which makes sense as well. This C wave here is an impulsive wave. What does that mean? An impulse means it consists of 5 waves, okay? It consists of 5 waves. So we have here on the chart, and I'll try to keep it simple and I won't bore you, so I'll make it quick. I just want to really emphasize to you or show you here what we've got on the chart. So here, this in my opinion is a wave 1 of that move down. Wave 1. Then we moved up here in a wave 2. and that is very similar to what we currently have with Bitcoin as well. Then we have here a wave 3. Within the wave 3, we obviously completed 5 waves. So we could just to label that. So very clearly you can see here, this was very clearly a first wave. I'll make that yellow. Wave 1, we had here the wave 2 high. Yeah, all within the wave 3. That makes me also quite confident that this wave 3 in green is finished, because within that we can clearly count an impulsive move down. And overall, this 5th wave here ended that wave 3 in green. So here, because we came into the target area, very similar picture to Bitcoin. Yeah, I've told you since November, December that we need to get into this target area. I mean, the target area did start at $100. There was the 61.8% Fibonacci level here already, and that was when we were here. Yeah, I told you that the correction could now be finished, because also here we reached that first, or the 61.8% Fibonacci level, which is in a wave 2 really likely to reach at least that. but it wasn't the ideal target. And the fact that we dropped below $100, below the 61.8% Fibonacci level, made it actually more likely to drop to that $55 level, which I've told you all the time. We had this strong move up, and here I also said, right, the low could be in, because we reached the 61.8% Fib level, but we need an impulse. And this was not an impulsive wave up. This was a 3-wave move. So, however, we then came into this target area here, and because we have reached now this area between $30 and $55, which is between the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level and the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level, which is the ideal retracement level for a wave 2, here the low could now already be in. So even though this count does not suggest that it's over, because it would suggest, right, after this wave 3 there will be a wave 4, which we are doing at the moment, in my opinion. Yeah, this wave 4, this is also why we saw some nice upside here in the last few days. By the way, how high can that go? Let's take a look. How high can that go? To do that, we start here the Fibonacci tool at the beginning of the wave 3. We go down all the way down to the wave 3, and we can see that the minimum has already been reached. So the minimum retracement of a wave 4 is the 23.6% Fibonacci level, $51 here. That was reached already. Ideal level would be the $61 level here, the 38.2% Fib level. And we could even go all the way up to the 50% Fib retracement, so 68. So somewhere between 51 and 68, that wave 4 should be complete, and then we move down in a 5th wave. That is my primary expectation. 38.2% Fib level, so $61 would be the ideal level for that. And as I said, primarily, and I've been telling you that throughout, primarily I do expect another move down, and that would then be, in this 5th wave here. And this 5th wave would ideally then complete all of this here. Yeah, all of these waves will then be complete at that point down here. And how low could that go? Well, ideally not really below $30. Yeah, certainly possibility maybe to drop down to 20. I told you before, this will be a very important support level. I wouldn't be surprised if we even drop down in that 5th wave to $20. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Even though it wouldn't be great, but I wouldn't be surprised, because it could only be for a short moment. It could just be a long wick down. So that is what I currently expect here, and my view hasn't changed. So we have here some short-term upside. Showed you in the previous video here this sort of bearish flag. So this is interesting to keep on the chart. Bear flag, yeah. Maybe let's go to the 1-hour chart to see if something exciting is happening here. But hopefully that makes sense from an Elliott wave point of view. So again, the low could already be in, theoretically, yeah. Therefore, we need to be we need to pay a lot of attention currently to the chart, because at any point an impulsive move up could start, and maybe we will never see these lower lows. But my primary expectation is we will see these lower lows. And until we really move above this resistance zone here between $75 and $81, in an impulsive move, we don't even need to talk about really that wave 2 here, the larger move down, and I go once more to the daily chart, we don't need to talk about that this larger move down is finished. Yeah, even if we move up to $75 or $81, what we need to see is to break it and to have an impulsive move. That is so important. Until then, because we haven't made a significantly higher high, also my view is we are still here in an impulsive wave down, also suggested by the Elliott wave count. And let's look at the pattern here. Bear flag would be very much aligned with the Elliott wave count here. And again, there are different ways of drawing this. You can draw it like that, and that's probably the more accurate way here, not really using the wicks. You can see here we've got an ascending wedge, could be a bear flag, yeah, and that would then also break down. And what did I tell you? $61, I believe I just told you, would be an ideal retracement level for the wave 4. So I wouldn't be surprised if we move once more higher, reach here the resistance at $61, and then move down. Obviously did draw that quite ugly, but something like that. So therefore we could see one more upside, absolutely, to reach the $61 and then move down. That's obviously speculation at the moment, because we are currently in a pattern, and as long as we haven't broken out yet, we are still bound here. and we need to wait for a signal if it breaks to the downside or to the upside. Only the market will decide that. Primarily based on the pattern and based on the Elliott wave count, I would expect further moves down. But as always, the Elliott waves and technical analysis can only give us a guide. They can only show us the advantage in the market, the edge, and it doesn't always need to play out. Of course, it's not a guarantee. Nobody has a crystal ball, and please come to your own conclusions. So yeah, and that is what we can see here at the moment. Hopefully that made sense. So there is one more leg down expected, could even really drop down to $20. That is one more massive area of support, then we would pretty much be where we were back in June 2021. All right, so hopefully you liked that update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, check out the channel membership, where you can get access to the Telegram live chat groups, the Discord server, and a weekly live stream. Also my own buy and sell orders, even though I'm really careful with buying at the moment, yeah, because it is very, very uncertain out there at the moment. And maybe also check out the trading course I'm offering on morecryptoonline.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.